That was real fun for me, man. From like the second time I did in eighth grade all the way up to the 12th grade. It was some fun times going on class trips, man. We used to be tripping the whole ride up there, the whole ride back, just busting on each other, talking about other people, because that's what we did when you young, man, and you teenagers. That's what you do. Um, we just had a lot of fun. Like I remember reenacting. We was in the eighth grade when I did eighth grade over again. Me and my class did a reenactment of a court scene where I was playing a judge, and we had somebody other two playing lawyers. And I forgot what happened. It was some scenario that happened, and I had to be the judge to see who was right and who was wrong. But that was definitely a good stench right there that we did, and had a little fun doing that. And I always was my own individual growing up. In high school, I never had a pack of dudes I hung out with. Had a real small circle of people that I deal with, that I deal things with. Most of the time I was a loner, but I wasn't a popular kid in school. But I knew everybody. I knew what mostly everybody did. Most of the females, most of the dudes, and people from different departments. We used to trip and bug out a lot, had lots of fun. I started liking school again. I started liking learning. It was fun learning. I remember a lot of teachers we had, that was look forward to being in a classroom, like Mr. Glickman. We had a teacher that used to always teach with enthusiasm. He was a race car announcer. So when he teaches, he'd be like, and this happened, and this date on such and such and such. And he used to always, his favorite line was, we get upset. He used to really get mad, but he never cursed. He'll say things like, call me a monkey's uncle. Stuff like that. And he was like real fun, man. He had us laughing, and we looked forward, man, to working with him. We had this other dude too, man. He looked like a wrestler, Paul Orndorff. He had a real pointy nose. He used to teach reading class, I think. Reading class or writing class. We had names for everybody, man. Like all the teachers that was in the 90s in Strawberry Mansion. If y'all listening now, we crew. That's what kids used to do. Like, I remember this other lady, man. She was like real homely lady. I think she was like an NTA, whatever. She had like real bad breath. Like every time she talked, she had gnats flying around her mouth, man. And I remember she used to always tell people to get out of line. Like that's what I remembered about her the most. She like, if you bust in line or wasn't in line right. And then we had this other lady. I mean, of course, I used to come up with the names for a lot of people. I called her Yip Yip, and a lot of people that I was in my class with, y'all looking at this series right now, listening to me, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I called her Yip Yip because she reminded me of the Sesame Street aliens, the ones with the long chin. I used to always be afraid of them dudes. I don't know why I was afraid of them when I was young. They used to scare me, but they used to always say Yip 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 Yip. They used to always say radio, Yip 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 Yip. They'll point to something, and then when it was done, they used to always say yip, 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 yip. So I used to call them yip yips. And that's what we call her, man. She looked exactly like one of them alien creatures, man. Whole setup. We called her yip yip. Yeah, I know I'm wrong. We had NTAs, man, that looked funny. We had one dude like Steven Seagal, overweight Steven Seagal, the way Steven Seagal look right now. That's the way the boy looked. We had one dude, he was a real cool, laid back dude. Used to always wear sunglasses. He looked like Jazz from Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Jazzy Jeff, the DJ. He looked like him. There's one teacher, man, I ain't gonna never ever forget. I forgot his name, but he was a computer guy. See, all y'all young kids, y'all thinking computer technology and all that is new. Computer's been around for a long time, and we was the people that was born in the era of the 70s and the 80s, and in that era. We got the floppy disk. Used to save stuff on that. People might not know that. Just to throw that out there, just for the younger generation, don't know what a floppy disk is. That's what you kept your information on. Before it was an eternal hard drive. And we had computer class, and we had typing class that taught you how to type. But the computer class, man, we had this one teacher. He looked like Michael X. We called him Michael X. And I came up with the names for all most of these teachers, man. I came up. I ain't good with names, so I used to call people that's like I do now. I call them by what they look like. So I was the one, my crazy behind, coming up with different names for these teachers. And you call him Michael X because he looked like Michael X. He was tall like him. He had the box haircut, same complexion. That could have been Michael X's twin brother. Everybody got a twin. That was definitely his twin. The only difference is he used to wear real tight pants and he had a real big ass. And that's the thing that a lot of people, we used to always talk. That's what we did as kids. And he had the tight pants on, switching. I don't know was he gay or not. But I remember one time he was bending over, and one of the girls in the classroom was like, "Oh, such a teacher, such and such, y'all got your y'all in my way." And he turned around and said, "I can't help it if I got a big butt." The one thing I want to make clear is to let everybody know what's the difference between a rapper and an MC. Now, we must understand a rapper, man. Only thing they do is make their words wrong. Anybody can be a rapper. Your grandma could be a rapper. Your mom, your dad, your teacher, anybody, man, that could put words together with a nice, catchy beat is a rapper. Dr. Seuss was a rapper. Now, an MC is totally different. They care about their lyrics. They take time to write their lyrics. They care about their delivery. They care about how it's presented. And they message and how they bring it forth. And most MCs are battle rappers. Rappers, people that just rap, are not battle rappers. They just putting words together to make them rhyme. But MCs, most of them are battle rappers. And MCs, man, we definitely care about the lyric. It's always been the lyric first. The beat is important. It's the icing on the cake. That's all it is. See this wall behind me? It's full with legends, hip-hop legends. All my people, hip-hop artists that inspired me throughout my years and continue to inspire me to this day. Once you're an MC, you're locked. You're an MC forever. And you do it for the love and for the people that's lost in the darkness and people that want to hear what you have to say to inspire. Because that's the skill you have. The creator of all living things gave you a gift to inspire people and take them out the darkness and show them the true light and the truth through words. And if you're an upcoming artist, MC, the thing you got to do as you get older, if you don't get signed, you have to turn your words into poetry, because that's what they are anyway. That's what they are, street poetry. And turn them into spoken word and find ways to get the truth out to people. If you can't make money, you still find ways to get the truth. Because if you find one person and get through to one person, you did your job and you made a difference. Real talk. For those who know me, y'all know I got a crazy sense of humor. Y'all know that your man is a crazy mofo. And I like to start this off by giving you a joke passed down by the great Red Fox. There was a woman in town. A lot of people didn't like her. She couldn't get no dates. She wanted to know what was going on and what was wrong. So she went to a gynecologist. She went to a gynecologist. He told her to take her clothes off. He told her to put her feet in some stirrups. He said, blow your breath in my face. She said, he said, okay. So he told her to bend over. Checked her out and everything like that. And, oh, okay. I see what it is. You got a bad case of Zackley. She said, Zackley? He said, yeah. Your breath smells exactly like your ass. Comedy, man, is another passion of mine. I believe that having a sense of humor, man, and sometimes taking life not too seriously, man, is the fountain of youth. It's what keeps you young. It also is medicine for the soul, like music is medicine for the soul. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you wait to get old. Mama used to say, take it in your stride. mama used to say, live your life, live your life. I'm just bugging out right here behind the scenes, man, enjoying this documentary I'm doing on this nice, glorious, beautiful thing. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the strength and blessings to see this new glorious day, to have off, to share with people my experiences that I had in Philly throughout my life. Just reminiscing on some old songs, man, to let you know I have an old soul, man. Like remembering songs like yo, yo, little brother, what you out there trying to discover? Yo, little brother, you gonna get it one way or the other. Yo, you had to be from the 80s, remember them songs, man. The songs like she lied to me. You know what I mean? The songs like that, man. Like, I don't know why them songs become part of you, become part of your DNA from the 80 joints. 16 candles. I only have eyes for you. I love that era, man. Like Blue Moon. You know what I'm saying? Pretty little angel eyes. Pretty little angel eyes. Yo, I'm an old man. You know what I mean? I got some songs up here that y'all might not know. I know, like, why do fools fall in love? Growing up with my mother was real interesting, man. I love my mom to death. My mom brought us up real strict, real tight. She brought us up, man, and it was a lot of drama, a lot of intense arguments. But one thing I could say about my mom, man, she showed us love. And she ain't say it a lot. She ain't the type of person that's real affectionate, but she showed us through making sure we went to school every day. Her motto was, you going to school, no matter what, but you're getting out of this house. But she made sure she came and got our report cards. She made sure that she got checkups on a yearly basis or every 6 months basis. She made sure that we got our teeth cleaned and all that. And she made sure she fed us, man. She made sure that we got a meal every morning, no matter what it was. We never went to school starving. You know, there's people that live in foreign countries and all that, and they live way poorer than us. Like, we think we poor, but they are actually the poorer people of the world. So we don't have an inkling far as know how it really, really is to be poor, for real, for real. But, you know, my mom ain't never wake up. My parents, even though when they was together as a couple, they ain't never tell us, kids, there's no food today. We can't feed you. I don't know how you going to eat. I'm sorry. We don't have no food. There's no water. We ain't never had to experience that. We ain't never, even my kids growing up, they could tell you, no matter what, even to this day, they never went in the refrigerator and seen the refrigerator completely empty with nothing. They always had a stomach filled since they was born. Me always had a stomach filled since I was born. I praise the God of Almighty, the Creator, for giving me that, for having both parents in my life. And my mom, I love you. If you're listening now, I love you. What you did for us, growing up, taking care of us, making sure we had the things we need to survive. And it was rough. It was a rough road, but we made it through that, all that, and made me become the Philly native and man that I am today. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, when I was a young buck in Philly, it was hard. We had some rough times, experiencing not having the heat on sometimes, electricity off, um, no water at certain times, but it was always for a short period of time. But I experienced all that. But the one thing I could say is that I didn't have it worse than a lot of people that I know. We had a refrigerator. You know, even my mom divorced from my dad, we had a refrigerator with food in it all the time. We had to wash up clothes in a tub and a sink. What y'all know about that? Like, y'all don't know about that. That's the struggle. Washing up your underwears in a sink by hand. Putting them on the line outside with the white rope line. Y'all know about that. But anyway, we got a washing machine later on and all that. But we was able to afford certain stuff like that with certain people, man. Living in the street, we ain't never experienced that. Being homeless, living with friends, living with family members, this place and that place. And then the real poor people, I'm using the down south slang, poor. The real poor people in the world is the people that, just like I said, that has nothing, man. don't have a house over their head, don't know when the next meal coming. Foreign countries where kids are living with parents that can't tell them when the next time they're gonna eat. That's the real poor people of the world. Hearing that you dying of starvation, you turn around and you see your mom and your dad dead, and you gotta take care of your younger brothers. That's the real struggle. So over here in America, man, I like to say that we can't complain too much. We got it better than a lot of other places, and that's real talk right there. Oh, when Ghostface Killer said plucking roaches out the cereal box, man, that shit was real. You know what I'm saying? That's some real stuff. I remember us going to bed, man, and we used to be on used to live on 12th and Allegheny when we ain't had heat. We all slept in the same bed to keep warm. We did that in 8th and Huntington Park too certain times, man. We ain't had no heat. At certain times we all sleep in the bed to keep warm and stuff like that. And the blocks of cheese that you used to get when you was on welfare, man, and your mom got that wick and all that stuff. That yellow thick cheese, man, made the best grilled cheese sandwiches in the world and the best macaroni and cheese to this day. Cheese never melted, man. Cheese stayed in that form that it was. But those the memories, man, that a lot of kids, not my kids are included, but a lot of these kids from this generation ain't gonna never know or have an inkling about. My kids don't really know about it. They ain't never grew up with the big blocks of the cheese, but I'm bringing it forth to y'all to let you know that's the beauty of the hood, man, and what we experienced. And we had some good times and some real struggling times too. Talking about Poe, wearing hand-me-downs passed down from your brothers and your parents. Females, they gotta get hand-me-downs from their sisters and their mom. Poe, I'm talking about people that have to make their own houses out of scrap metal and out of anything that they can find, just to make shelter for themselves. And I can go on and on and on to tell you the real definition, like trying to stay warm by heating up rubber tires off cars. Like, stuff is real, man. On the other side of the globe is real, and I just thank the God Almighty Creator that I never went through what a lot of people that I know went through. Always had both parents in my life. Um, Growing up, even when they divorced, still had both of them even to this day. Blessed to have that. Always been spiritually rich. And when you spiritually rich, that's the true definition of having that balance and being happy in life. Always have knowledge of self. Always have knowledge passed down to me through my dad. Always had my imagination and creativity. Always been born with the gift of gab to make money for myself. To always put money in my pocket. Always been blessed to be the adapter. Always adapted with my environment, no matter what situation that I'm in. People be amazed and people be like real enthusiastic, but they also be real curious about how I survived these certain things. They're like, wow, Dennis, like, outside you can make it through that. And I always say it's the will and the power of the Creator. I'm a human sent instrument coming to do my job to give everybody knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Everything I do have to have a positive message in it. And I'm gonna try to do that the best way I could through my lyrics and through my videos. And my dad, I like to give a shout out to my dad. Peace and one love. Most of the time, in poor neighborhoods, and which is a misconception, because it's a stereotype that men had was not around at all, and I'm a perfect example of that's not true. My dad is a perfect example of that's not true. I was lucky to have him in my life, real lucky. A lot of my cousins, a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know personally, a lot of them grew up with no dad. It was all their mom. So I was one of the lucky ones. And when they divorced, my dad was still there. He still came and picked us up, took us to the movies, and took us to restaurants. I remember we used to go to Wendy's a lot when we was young. And it's a coincidence. I work a couple blocks down from Wendy's that we used to go to years ago when I was a young buck, man. And It's just a coincidence how things connect to you back in your life. And being poor, man, and not having a lot, teach you to appreciate life, and make you become a survivor. So anything happens in your life, you can handle it. Any bad situation, it would be like a piece of cake, man. Because I've been down so many times that down don't worry me no more. And it's also a survival test. So you will know how to survive. Your kids will know how to survive. And your grandkids will know how to survive. From teaching these lessons and bringing them down to them, what you went through, you become a survivor, man. And growing up, man, in the hood, I'm about to put y'all date with y'all. A lot of y'all young generation need to be listening to this right now. Because y'all don't know about the food stamps in the book. They be like, you looking at me right now like food stamps in a book. What you talking about? When you was poor, man, you grew up in a single household, trying to make ends meet. You was on welfare, and you was on welfare. When you got the young kids in the house, your mom used to get the wick, with the free milk, and get the eggs and the cereal and all that, and then you got stamps. You got a book of stamps, and that book of stamps would be whatever, how many people in the house or whatever, and it was actually like paper that was written amount that you could spend with that food stamp. Like you had like the dollar food stamp, you had the $5 joints, you had the $10, and you had to actually cut the piece of there's like coupons in the book. There's coupons in the book, and it was like probably that thick. You came with a certain amount, and you took out how much you go to the store, whatever, how much it costs. You used that stamp, that paper, and you tore it off and you gave it to the person at the store. Yeah, man, I'm an old man. Yeah, that's definitely something that may be looking at me. The young people out there may not know what I'm talking about, looking at me confused. The old heads, that's my age, a little bit younger. But the ones that's my age and older know exactly what I'm talking about when it came to them food stamps. Another thing I remember growing up in Philly when you was a young buck in Philly in the 80s and 90s was the milk crates. You got yourself a milk crate. The guys on the block would get a milk crate, cut the bottom out, and put it up on a pole. And that's where you played basketball on. And if you was lucky to get a backboard, you found a backboard and you made it and banged it onto the backboard, put that up. The only thing was you had dudes around the corner, dudes from other blocks used to come and steal the crate with the backboard. Damn bastards. Yeah, I remember, man, the paper football game. Like when you in the ghetto, when you poor, you used to make up stuff. You had to make up games and use your creativity and imagination. You made the little paper football that was made out of triangle. You hit it on the end of the table, whatever end piece go on the side of the table. The person got 8 points, 7 points, and the other person make a goalie sign. The person that just got the point would flick it over that, get the extra point. And that was a game you played on a small table, you could play it on a long table, you could play it on a coffee table. And it was a game that dudes played. Even my wife, when we first met, we played it a couple times. Um, we used to also make clubhouses, man. Clubhouses was a real popular thing when we was young. It was our boy caves. Right now we have man caves. That was our boy caves. We made it anything that we could find, mostly like boards and scraps of metal. And it was a way to get away from your house. It was where you go at to read your comic books or you read your nudie books, and just to get away from the house. That sometimes you go in there by yourself or with your buddies. If we wasn't hanging in abandoned houses, that's where we had the clubhouses. And I remember on Monument Street, man, the guys on 17th and Norris, the drug dealer dudes, they actually had an upstairs clubhouse that they made with a bunch of boards and stuff like that. I remember, man, the guys on our block used to sneak up there. And that's how I knew about the upstairs part. It was like real creative, like like a little mini small house. And God forbid what was going on in there. I could just imagine. But that just showed you creativity that you have to have when you have nothing really. Spinning tops, man, was a real popular thing. At one point, everybody and their mom had a spinning top. Come out different colors, everybody spin their top. See who was spinning the fastest. Real. Even the young little girls, man, the young girls had spinning tops too. When they come out, everybody on the block just come out all day spinning their tops. Mattresses, jumping on mattresses, the mattresses. the sleeping mattresses that people used to sleep on, the old ones people would throw away. We'd get the mattress and we'd put it in a lot where the empty house used to be at, and we'd flip on that joint all day. That was another thing we did to waste time and have fun. Backflip. We learned how to backflip on that and do backflip and then front flips on it. That's the main thing you used to do on the mattresses back in the day. And something you did as a young buck. Sometimes you get 2 mattresses, put it on top, 3. The higher the better. And also, Mr. Softy, man. Like Eddie Murphy said, delirious. You heard that noise. Everybody, they mom, they grandma, hear that sound from the Mr. Softy truck. That sound was still to this day hypnotizing the little kids. And they know that. They know that. They used to come on our block, stay parked for like an hour. Well, almost everybody was get us some change. You beg your mom, can you get ice cream? Mom, get the ice cream. She got to go in her change jar, her purse, and scrunch up some money so everybody can get themselves an ice cream. And the ones who didn't have ice cream, like Eddie Murphy said, you did fill out a place and you did get picked on. You look around, everybody just smiling, having fun. And then, like, a lot of times we was that family, man, that was on the outside looking in. I'm not going to front about that. But the ice cream truck, man, was a real popular thing. That was a beautiful thing when you were a child growing up, especially in the 90s in Philly. I'm up here representing, letting you look at a shirt that I got on, talking about the classic bone boxes that I got on representing right now. That we used to go around with in the 80s. Real popular thing we used to do. People that was deep into their music and hip hop culture, and Spanish people used to do it a lot. Everybody from the hood that loved music. We used to have bone boxes with the tape decks. You used to put your tape in there, had a radio station and all that, and you put your bone box on your shoulder, or you picked it up by the handle. It was real heavy. It holded a lot of batteries, like 16, I think it was, 16 or 8, between 8 to 16 D batteries. Man, a lot of batteries I remember that joint used to carry, man. And that's where you used to walk around with your boom box. You blast it up real loud with your music, and it was like you had a surround sound going around with you all day on your body. It was one of the classic things we did in the 80s with the bone boxes. Another thing we used to do too, man, and I remember what the females used to wear, the gold earrings. They had all different styles, but the main styles I remember was the loop joints, the gold loop earrings. I remember the shrimp earrings that was actually, it was French, but I don't know what they called shrimp earrings, but they looked like shrimp. And it was a loop shrimp style. The figure 8s that was actually shaped like an 8 that went on the females wore on their ears, and also the bamboo loop earrings. They had the bamboo, the regular ones. They also had the bamboo with the names on it. You used to get them custom made. You go in the jewelry store, get your name on them. That was the thing that a lot of I remember a lot of females used to rock during the 80s. And the men, man, the young men back in the day in the 80s used to wear the big gold chain, rope chains. And you had your name on them too. You had the name, you had the little piece that went on the bottom. It was, you definitely had to have a piece, man. And that was the things that we used to rock back in the day. And the hand bone chains, that was another classic chain that we used to wear with the piece on it or with your name on it. The Mad Lyrical Wolf, behind the scenes, coming at you, the director, the one that's trying to put this series together, talking to you about why I did what I did on my particular series. Wasn't at first was gonna do a series on me. I wanted to just get 10 people that I know, focus on them and stay behind the scenes. I wanted just to be the voice, not to be heard or seen. Like most of the times you see an interview, you see the director sometimes me be sitting right next to the person interviewing them one-on-one. I want to stay behind the scenes and be the voice and give people they shine. But I decided to say, I got a lot to tell. Like, I got a real interesting life that I wanted to share with people, and a lot of things people might not know about me. People may just assume things by just assuming. So you'll find out many different things. How me being an MC, growing up with my cousin, how we used to freestyle and to make out tapes. You'll find out me into the spoken word. My main goal for the Philly Native series, if everybody's wondering why I'm doing it, I'm doing this because I want to capture people's talent that they got from God, from the Creator, and I want to focus on that. And I want to get them praise while they're alive, let them smell their flowers while they're alive. And I want to give people that I personally know they praise. I don't want to focus on their personal life too much, even though each episode may be different. And I may have to focus on certain things, like they may own a business as a family or with their wife or with their husband or something like that. Depends on the mood and depends on the situation. Every episode going to be different. But I want to focus on the individual talent. That's my main goal. Incorporate Philly and how much we love Philly as individuals and what make a person a Philly native and what they love about Philly the most.